Hello, hello, hello! Crafty Chris here again, another Thursday night scrap. Your scraps. I've got my desk covered over with a piece of white because I have some piles under. But first, before I began talking about creating um, tags to use as cards or on layouts, I just wanted to address my tag organization. A few videos ago, actually, it's probably 2 years ago now, I created a video showing you how to create tags out of your leftover scraps and how to organize them. So I've got these two big clips that open up, and I've put holes in all my tags and put my created tags on these clips, and then I divided them into two groups because at the time these were completely full and they have been used throughout the last 2 years down to this point, and I've written on it what you can find on each of the tags, like pink pattern paper, pink solids, purple pattern paper, purple solids, blah 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 blah, winter patterns, multi-patterns, brown, turquoise, green, so pattern and solid paper. So I've got pretty much the color wheel worth of colors going on in there, and some are getting slim, so I might have to beef those up again. And then I just clip this on my drawer handle. I happen to have handles that that are open, so I can just clip them on there, and they're out of my way but easily accessible. So let me just get that clipped up there. So they're out of my way but easily accessible. Alrighty, so now today I've taken some of those base cards, sorry, not cards, tags that I created from a while ago, and I've just kind of thrown together little bits of ephemera, pieces of this and that, some flowers, words, just to begin to make some pre-made tags that I can either use for gifts, or I can use for card fronts, or I can use on actual layouts. So just little collages. So my rule of thumb in creating cards is you want to have words. So words or numbers is important on them. You want to make sure that your ephemera kind of relates to whatever's going on in the background and your words. And I'm a big proponent of flowers, so I always like to have flowers. And just recently I picked up a Tim Holtz package of butterflies, and they're see-through butterflies, and so I've added those to a number of the layouts. Now, it's great to have all different sizes because our card bases are generally 4¼ by 5½. And so you need to make sure that you have some card bases that will fit 4¼ sideways. Maybe I should get some cards and just kind of show you what I mean. And we also have, oops, we also have 5 by something as well. Oh, I don't have any card bases handy. Isn't that interesting? Oh, I do have an envelope though. So this is generally the size of the envelope. So we want to make sure that we have pieces that will fit on that card, both horizontally, vertically. Okay, these are horizontal options. And then vertically, I'm going to have to, well, I'm going to have to trim that down a bit. And you know, you want to be able to have them jaunty on your page. Jaunty to me means angular. So you want to have like a variety of cards ready, and you even want to have these super little ones too, because sometimes you don't need an entire card because you have a big sentiment or something you want to put on the page, or you've done an interesting background, or you just need that little something. So you want to have little ones as well. The other thing you want to make sure of, and I'm not going to do that today because I haven't had time to pull all the strings out, but you want to make sure your strings are neutral enough that they will go with whatever color is working on your card. So I have a wide variety of strings that I can use, and just recently I've been playing around with the idea of using washi as a string, and I'll show you how I do that at the end as well. So this is basically how I'm planning out. I just throw stuff on, and I have some things that have too many things, some things don't have enough things, and that's fine, because what ends up happening is after I play around with it a little, that it all settles out. Additional things I have are neutral flowers here. I have leaf bunches. This is a whole bag of just leaves. And I sometimes will feel like a flower needs to have some sort of a base, and leaves are that good thing. And I have these fun little arrowy things, because I noticed that most of my colors are bright and cheerful. So I can use those just to finish off. And I've also got some just strip words, you know, like super cute, or oh happy day, fabulous, live it up right now, what's it all about, amazing, weekend vibes, hey, oh hello, you know, just kind of random sort of friendshipy kind of sayings. So those I have aside in case I need something else, just to beef it up. So the intention of these cards is to be quick. Now, having said that, finding the little bits and pieces, you have to be willing to just randomly pull from your packages. You know, I have all my stuff in little packages, and I have it kind of sorted in, this is where the flowers are, this is where the friendship stuff is, this is where random words is, and so you just kind of pull all that out and just start throwing things down that kind of coordinate with your backgrounds, because it's your backgrounds that you're picking first. All right, having said that, let's put some of these together. You're going to need now the glossy accents bit and the Wink Stella stuff that you put on to sparkle and decorate afterwards. I'm not going into that. That's something that you can add on your own. I'm just getting the basic nuts and bolts of layering these things together. So you can have something that you can kind of maybe pull out of yours to replicate. How I make my tags, I have a tag cutter. So there's 100,000 different ways. You can make them manually just by cutting down your strips that you have left over and cutting off the edges, hoping that they align. I don't I prefer to be a little more precise on my tag making. I do have a tag cutter, but you can get tag dies. I find tag dies waste a little bit of paper. I prefer my tag cutter. Maybe I should show you. Oh, it's right here. I've been organizing my craft room so things go missing. So this is my little tag cutter, and I put the piece of paper in there, and this, I choose at what level I want that angle to be, and then this pops out of here. Whoop, and I just put the little doodad there in the rack and just cut that corner of that paper. Maybe I'll do one quickly for you. Here we go. So this is the perfect thing for a tag. So I just want to get, maybe this is an alphabetical scale, so I'm putting it on G. Do need to make sure that, so I put it on G, simply run my blade over it, and now I have one side, and then I put it back on G again. Make sure it's aligned to the side. Whoops, I'm going to have to move up from G. No, I wasn't even on G, that's why. And go that way. So now I have that, the corners cut, and this little neat apparatus here is to line up your hole. And that punches the little hole for you. Let me just get it lined up a bit. There we go. And there's a teeny hole. Now, that's great if you're using small things, but if it's, for me, I like a regular size hole, so this allows me to see where the center is, and then I just simply go in and, whoops, helps if I cut all the way through. This doesn't want to cut all the way through. And then I make a bigger hole. And that's it. And then you cut whatever length you want, and you just keep making tags until you've used up the paper. So this is a really great option. And whoops, let me put this all back and we'll move on to layering. Okay, there we go. And you can go back. I'm trying to keep organized in my studio so that every time I touch something and I'm done with it, I put it away. It's a challenge, trust me, and I'm sure you all know that feeling. Alrighty, so I'm going to start with a tag. Let's start with this little guy here. And I'm just going to lift these guys over a little bit. So I have a number of options with this one. I'm probably not going to use them all, but I really love this butterfly. It just pops so much on the background of that. Now I can make that three-dimensional by just folding it, giving it a little area down the center for me to, and I'll do that with one of the others, I think, for me to glue, but I want this one to be flat on here at a bit of an angle. So what do you use when you're gluing a clear I guess it's acetate onto paper? Well, the best thing I have found to use is a glossy accents product or liquid glass, whatever products you have that are clear. Now this one needs a little bit of a poke. I gotta grab my pokey tool. So I'm just going to poke the tip there off camera so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. And I'm just going to put the liquid glue under where I know there is some black. I don't need a whole lot to hold it because, you know, it is very lightweight. So I'm going to lift this up. There we go. And I'm just going to drop it down on a bit of an angle. There we go. And I just like that hanging out in the background. Now I have a couple of stickers here, and it's easier for me to pull off the outside edge of the stickers so I can see it a little more clearly, so I can decide on its placement, because once you stick something down it's hard to get that off. So let's just play with this a bit. I like this little shovel and pail thing because it really makes me feel like spring. And I'm just going to take off some of this extra paper so I can see where I want to place it. There we go. And take out the outer ring. So I'm just literally just popping off this outer ring. So it just leaves me with the actual sticker. And it helps at least to make it a little bit lighter. Then I have these things, Blooming Together, Friends. I was thinking I could put a tag behind, Special Friends, I don't know, Flower Lover. I think I am going to use these two things together, so I'm going to collage them right now. So I'm putting this little shovel thing in front of the mass of flowers, because this mass of flowers is actually more like a flower arrangement. And I'm just going to stick the bottom down there, and I'm going to play with where I'm going to put the words. Okay, so now I've seen that I maybe want to move this over a little bit. Don't want to cover up that. And still like the way that goes, so I think I might use that to rearrange what I got going on here. Start with this. I like the friends to be behind the bloom. Friends bloom together is my idea. Does not have to be a tag, so I'm going to trim down the tag so that I don't have to worry about excess paper. And this is going to go behind there, and it's going to say friends bloom together. So I want to put a little bit of adhesive right there for it to stick. Make sure my adhesive doesn't. There we go. Friends bloom together. And I want the friends and the together to line up nicely. Perfect. Now I'm noticing that these guys are die cuts, so they have these little stupid things that attach them to the paper that they are on, and they annoy the daylights out of me, so I try to trim those off as best I can. So they're more, I know it's a bit fussy, but so I'm liking that so far, and I'm liking this. So I'm going to put that down the center like that, and I'm going to pop dot this so you can kind of see that the shovel goes up behind. So let's grab some pop dots. Lots of random pop dots. They're all about the same. Oops. Some of them come off easier than others. Oops. This one, the tops keep coming off all of them. So now they're exposed. And you don't need too many because this is, you're not going to be squishing this into anything. It's just going to be sitting on a card. Actually, they're all popped. And then, there we go. There we are. So there we go. We got a good start. Now, do I want to put flower lover? Nah. Do I want to put special, as in special friends? Nah. I think I like it just the way it is. Now, I can go about and put some glossy accents rather, to make those pop up a little bit more. I can do an edge, and I think actually I will do an edge. I'm going to get my little thin 0.005 marker, super thin. Oh, so this is like super thin, it's 0.005. And I'm just going to put a stitch line around the outside edge. And it's so fine that it just gives you, it finishes off the edges, but it doesn't jump out at you too much, because it's nice and thin. And I don't worry about it being super perfect. And the best and easiest way to do this is not to look at the pen, but look at the edge of the paper, and that kind of helps you to stay on the line as you're going around the edge. And we all know that our hand stitching is not super perfect, so this is, I should have put some under there, and I still can because it hasn't dried yet. Awesome. There we go. All right. Done. So I don't even know how many minutes that took us. Not very long. So we have our first tag done for a layout for spring or something. Now I'm going to go and try to, and these are left over, and that's fine. I may find a place for them, or I may not. Now I want to try this interesting tag, and this is too big for the tag, so I'm actually going to cut so that I get the words, and then because these are both cut off, I'm going to mill them against an end and try and get a butterfly there and whatever. So the first thing I'm going to do is trim down the words. And I want to make sure, so I'm going to pop dot this, and it's a sticker. So I have some powdery stuff that I use to take the sticky off because it's very difficult to work with if it's covered with sticky. And you know, if you know you're going to pop dot it anyway, you might as well just take the sticky away because the pop dots are going to do the sticking. So I am just covering this all with, it's like baby powder in a container. There we go. And when you know you're done is when you can do this and nothing sticks. So I'm not quite done yet. Let's try it again. There we go. Doesn't stick. And then you can just wipe that off. And I usually wipe it on my pants because that's I wear that kind of stuff. There we go. Make sure there's no sticky. All right, now I can run this through my cutter without worrying about it sticking and making sure that I get it on a good line. So I want to cut it close to the words, but give it a little tiny bit. Now my cutter has about 1/8 of an inch past the edge of the plastic piece here. So I know that even though it looks like my plastic piece is lined up with the T, I still have 1/8 of an inch after that it's going to cut, so that I end up having a nice centered piece. And I'm going to do that same thing on this side. Line it up with the edge. And I'm going to do the same to the top and the bottom. So you can adjust all of your stickers and things to what you need them for. Just because they come to you in a particular way doesn't mean you have to use them that way. And those pieces are too small to keep. So we have our sign. Now this, I don't like the angular edges on this, so I'm going to take a corner rounder. Now this particular corner rounder has 3 different sizes: a big 10mm round, a 7mm round, and a 4mm round. And I like the 4mm round for my my ephemera because it just is neat and tidy and finishes that little piece off. And it's a small rounding as opposed to your regular photo size rounding. So there we have our tag. Now this one I thought I might have to cut down because, yeah, so I'm going to make this, it's a bit too long and it probably will go on a card. And so our height of a card is 4 1/4. So I am going to cut it down to 4. And what do you think I'm going to do with this piece, folks? Going in my scraps. All right, now, so I have this that I'm going to pop dot. These guys, I can just have this one side go off the edge. I'm thinking about what I'm doing here. And this guy can go over top of that. And I was thinking this could hang down, But you know what? Now I'm thinking I don't even need that piece. But it's a perfectly good piece. So where is that going to go? Into my scraps. All right, let's lay this out a little. I'm going to take off the outer edge of this so I can see it a little bit better on my page. That's going to lay over there. I might have to switch sides on that because it's covering up the G, so let's move this guy over here and see if we can have this come. I don't mind it going off the edge. And then the butterfly will probably go there. Do I need hello, or is good times enough? That's always the question, so I'm going to leave that. Now, can I put special up here because it's special good times? I probably can. So I'm going to pull that out. This little guy now, I'm going to bend in 2 spots. It's very hard to see because he's so small, but I'm going to bend about 1/16 of an inch on each side of where the body might be, because I need to have a place to put the glue and be able to keep this three-dimensional. So now you can see that I've folded it. Whoops, where are you there? And you can see I've got that little space that I can now glue, and that will keep it three-dimensional. It's hard to see that. There we go. So that's going to get glued somewhere in there. And then special has a couple of nubbly bits on it, so let's get rid of that. There we go. Oops, another little nubbly bit. They're very small, and I could probably not worry about them, but they just annoy me for some reason. Okay, there we go. So that's ready to go. This is ready to go. That's ready to go. I need something up here, but I'll think about that one after we get everything kind of going. So we're going to pop dot this first of all. Actually, you know what? I'm going to corner around these corners because I'm not thrilled with the corners. And I'm going to use my small corner rounder because that's my favorite. All right. There we go. I feel better now. Those corners are rounded. And that makes this sit in there a little nicer. Okay. Now, pop dots. I ran out of the other pop dots. So now we're going to use a different kind of pop dots. Same process. I usually use about 5 for something that's this big, if they're the small ones. If they're the big ones, I'll use 3 straight across. Make sure they're nicely patted down. Oh, and I should remind you that when you've done your powdering, you need to get the excess powder off. So just wipe it quickly on your pants. If my mom could hear me now. Just wipe it off on a cloth so that you know the excess powder's off. Otherwise your glue dots and things won't stick. All right, so we have that, and I think I'm going to pop dot this one up to, so I am going to do some powdering of part of it because I don't want the powder. So I'm just going to go about there and powder this bit. So let me see. So where my finger is, we're going to let it stay, and we're going to powder the top part because it will sit flat on the sticker, but it'll be pop dotted on the card base. I'm just getting that nicely powdered. Good. Using my pants again. Sorry, Mom. Alrighty. And now, oh, now I can pop dot this. So we're going to have one there, one there, and one there. And now I'm going to get mini dots. These are the most unusual things. Like, these are super mini dots. This is a 3L product, scrapbook. But look at how teeny tiny these little dots are. And they're awesome for this kind of project where you just need a tiny little bit. There we go. Make sure everything's pushed down. Take the taps off. And there we go. So I've pushed my pop dot right up to the edge of this piece. So this is lying flat, but the rest of it is pop dotted. So you have that dimensional look. Now, where's my butterfly? There we go. Now my butterfly is going to pop out from the page. And I'm going to use some glue for this one. I have quick drying glue because the liquid glass glossy accent stuff is longer dry. So I'm just going to put some quick dry glue that changes to clear when it's done on the edge of that piece. I probably didn't even need that much, but it's there now. All right, and open the wings a tiny little bit, and I can play with that a little bit later as well. Going to put him in there like that, and then I'm going to pop special. There we go. Yep, and this isn't a sticker, so I can pop dot this right away. So 2 small pop dots. And just for this upper piece, I'm going to use some more of those mini dots. Super mini dots. So it just doesn't run into any problems. And I'm going to stick it right there, like that. So now we have special good times. Do I need anything there? Nah, but I'm not really loving this, so I will likely put a gem of some sort in there, which I don't have with me at the moment, but that's a place where I'd put a gem, and then of course I would pop up the words and stuff using glossy accents and glitter glue and whatever you have in your stash. So there's number 2. Okay, this one is a fun looking one, and I have this clear black butterfly to use on here, and this I also want to have as friends, and I want it to say friends 24/7. So I kind of like the idea of the tab. So the first thing I'm going to do is take off the outer part of this, and I'm going to line up my 24/7 with the tab. Try to keep it so that it's centered as much as possible. All right, so there's my friends 24/7. So now this is my biggest piece here. Okay, so friends 24/7. I'm going to powder the back of that. This powdering stuff is a really great idea. I'm using it more and more and more. I've had it in my collection of tools for a very long time and just went about my business and not using it, and have found that it's now become something I do all the time with stickers. And I've kind of been off stickers and more into the ephemera stuff because of the stickiness of it. I didn't want to have to bother with it, but now I've kind of changed my mind. All right. So I have these funky little flowers that are kind of in the color lines, and I have this little cute one that I think will go nicely. My plan was to have, like, I don't know, something. I think I'm going to have to take the magic off there. It's just too much. Okay, so we can do this all aligned centered and have the flowers on either side. And I do not like balanced, which is why I have 3 flowers. So let's see. We can have this guy there and this guy there. And it's okay if they go off the tag. So they're probably going to be pop dotted. I can move up a tiny bit, and then I can have just something over here to off balance it, or I can have this over there to off balance it. If I put the blue there, then I'm going to switch these guys around because I want your eye to kind of be driven down. So that's what I'm looking at. So now we got to stick it down. All right, I think I like that on that side. So let's get our butterfly. And I don't think I want him to be 3D. I think I'm going to stick him down flat again, get some glossy accents. Actually, you know what? I can probably just use my glue because it does dry clear. And I just need dots, top, like literally hardly any glue. Oops, so hard to get that back in there. So that's how much glue I've used. And I'm going to make sure it's as close as I can get it to the hole because that gives me more space. There we go. I don't mind if the little wings go over a touch on either side. So there we go. That's good to go. Then this is going to get pop dotted because it's important. And I think I'm going to use larger ones. Do I care if they're black or white? No, I don't, because nobody sees them. So I'm not going to worry about that. That gives it a nice base. And because it's not sticky in the middle, I think I'm just going to put a small one in the middle there just to support it. But I don't have to do much more than that. There we go. And this is going to be Friends 24/7. I'm eyeballing. Okay, in the center there. Now I got loads of room for this guy. This guy's already double pop dotted, so he's going to sit right over top of my pop dots. And his little leaf is going to go off the side because I just like that. And this one is going to go here, just slipped under there a little bit. And then we're going to pop this little guy right up there. And we're done. I may consider doing something there. Tucking a little something in there. Nope. What do I have here? Let's see. I want something short. I have Be Bold, The Scoop, Oh Hello, Hustle, 24/7 here. I can cut some of these too. Fabulous is a little too big. All right. I think I'm going to put the scoop on there just because it's orange, and I'm going to see if I like it. Kind of try to line it up properly. So I could put it there, but that's too far away. I think I need to put it closer. And it's going to hide the words, but that's okay. I just need something there. To give it a little bit of balance. There we go. So you can't really see it, but if you look at it, you can see it. There we go. And that's our finished page. So that's number 3. Let's see, what else can we do? Let's do this guy. I got lots for this guy. Way too much. So I'm liking the soak up the sun thing. I'm liking the butterfly. I want to just put this down flat. I'm going to measure this to make sure it's not going to go over. It's a little long, so I'm going to make it 4. So whether it goes horizontal or vertical, it will fit on the page. And this guy is going to go centered right underneath. Soak up the sun. I like the words keep cool, but I don't like this band across the top. So I am going to trim off that black band. And I'm just lining it up randomly because up here I can't really touch it to line it up. So I do it at the bottom. And did I get that off? I did. There we go. Love this cutter. So we have keep cool, so I can pop dot that. Just going to go right to it. I'm going to put this just a bit in from the edge on both sides. Don't know where I'm going. We'll see what happens. And one in the middle just for support. Little guy. And we're going to just center that on there. There we go. Done. Now, it's a little more on one side than the other, but that's okay because I have my butterfly. Now again, I'm going to fold it about 1/8 of an inch on either, from this in the center. So 1/16 on either side. Make sure that is more or less even. Okay, so there, and there we have our little spot for glue. So let's put some glue in there. My glue bottle, it's very humid in my studio today. I don't know why, but it's making my glue bottle ooze glue. So just pull it out a little bit. There we go. Just stick it there because I can. And as I said at the end, I will definitely take a string and string these up, because there's no point having a tag if you're not going to put ribbon or string in them. All right, so there we go. Keep cool. Actually, I think I'm done. I'm not even going to do anything else. I'm just going to leave her like that. There we go. Now I want to do a long one. A lot of my tag paper is paper that I'm not really keen on, and the reason it works so well for tags is because you know, pretty much just what am I trying to say? You pretty much just cover it up, right? So it doesn't really matter all that much. Now, I have an oh my god, because I just like that term, and I have these wings, and I want the wings to go together and the oh my god to kind of be the center of the wings. And the wings are spread apart, obviously, much larger than they need to be for a real butterfly. But I just think it looks cool. And then I'm gonna use my thumb to curl up the wings at the end. So I'm gonna lay it flat because there's adhesive there that will hold the whole thing together, but I'm just curling up the plastic a little bit, and you want to be careful not to like actually fold it, but you're just going to give it a little bit of life by curling it up a tiny bit. Oop. Ah! I have to figure out how to line that up again. There we go. Make sure not to pull it off your sticker. And then my sticker is going to go right in the center. There we go. Okay, and now you can see how just molding those wings is giving it a little bit of dimension, and you can play with that more and get it however you like it, as molded as you want to see it. There we go. All right, and what did I have here? Oh, I had bucket list. Too much. Okay, so for this one, I wanted some bright colors to kind of jazz up the background, and I wanted these words at the bottom, so I'm just going to push them right on. Now, yeah, that should be okay. But I should start with the U in the middle, and then I can tighten up the words together, or the letters together. F-U and N. Now, what am I going to do with that? I'm going to keep that. Why am I going to keep that? Because that's another word. It's just the outline word. There we go. So we have fun. There we are. And now these guys, actually, do I want to pop dot that fun? Do I want to put hello fun? Do I want to put magic fun? Pop dot that. I might want to do that. Magic fun. That's what I'm going to do, girls and guys. So we're just going to stick a couple of these bigger ones on the base. Now, I'm not worried about powdering because there's hardly any of that that's going to show. And I'm just going to put maybe 3 of these little guys across the top, because that wasn't a sticker. And get rid of all my parts, little lids. And tuck that right in there, except look, ooh, before I do that, I gotta snip off the little bits here. Sorry, this is annoying to watch. There we go. And just get that at the bottom of the wings. And center it. There we go. That just came together out of my brain with the things that were there. So we have magic fun. I think I need to move that over a little. Just a touch. Luckily things can move as long as you do it fairly soon after putting them down. When you're removing U's, you should always do it from the rounded bottom because otherwise you can rip it. And then put it back up. There we go. Magic fun. Loving it. Oh my God. All right, what do we got here? We've got this really challenging one. I have no idea how long I've been going. So maybe we'll leave that one for now. Let's do the little mini one. Now I like this saying, nope, not today, because some days are just like you want to be on holiday, right? So there's a bright little tropical flower. We've got some pineapples in the back. Simple little statement. And you got a cute little add-on for your beach page. So I don't think I'm going to round the corners of that because these are fairly rigidly not rounded. Again, this is not going to have a lot of sticker to be crushed. So I am just going to use 2 of the big pop dots and not powder. And I'm going to put nope right down the center. Nope. Not today. And then I'm just going to have that little guy pop dot out of there, and he's not a sticker, but I don't want to have a big massive whoops, I want to cut that off. That looks weird. It's a bit of white there. There we go. Now I can do that. I think I'll do that. Okay, and there's our little mini. Nope, not today. I'm on holiday. Me and my pineapples. All right, I think that's given you the idea. I don't want to really go any further with making these. The next thing I'm going to show you is just how you can make some ribbon out of using your washi tapes. While creating the washi tape ribbon, I ran into some difficulty, so I tried it a different way, and the different way is much easier, so that is what you're getting to see now. These 3 guys are going to have red, because there's maybe that guy and that guy. This guy might have something else. So I'm going to do my washi again. Measure my 10 inches, and this time I think I might just do it 2 separate pieces of 10. So there's one, and see if I have a better time of it. And maybe I might even run it along the edge of my ruler like that, just so that it's just touching. And then, oh, see, I hadn't thought of this before, but now I'm thinking about it. This might be the way to go. And then lining up my washi. Oh yeah, this is so much easier. And just running my finger down the stuff that is not on the ruler, because I don't know how well we're going to get that off. But isn't this cool that we can play around and find the best way to do this? There we go. And then I'm just going to pull back on this side. And as I pull off, oh yeah, that was so brilliant. Sometimes I surprise myself. There you go. Much easier. So do it that way. Use the ruler so that you can keep it all lined up. Oh my goodness, that was like half the problem. And then we're just going to loop it in. And now you can loop from the back. It gives you a different look. And so let's see what that look is like. I'm just gonna and then of course we're going to tighten that up. And the tightening up is an issue because it goes against what the washi really wants to do. There we go. A little bit more. You don't want to rip anything, so you want to be as gentle as you can. Okay, there we go. So we have one going over and one going under. Gives you a different look. And on this one, I am going to dovetail it. So I'm going to snip off up to there, and I'm going to fold it. So when you're dovetailing, you're folding down the center of the item, and you're going to cut from the fold to the tip on the other side. And luckily I have washi that has that direction on it. And there you go. And there's your dovetail. Okay. So that's one thing you can do with your washi. Now this washi, could it be a little thick for this? Yeah. It may be a little thick for this, and you will, when you stick it down to something, have to glue it so it separates a little bit. But that's not a big issue. And there you go. Washi as ribbon. Okay, so I think that's enough for today, and I hope that you have a great March. The weather in Ontario is kind of challenging right now. We had a super hot day yesterday, and now it's cold and windy and not so great and rainy today. But you know what? Spring does come. So I will say goodbye for now. Thank you very much for joining in. Hope you enjoyed our tags. Let me just put them out here so you can see them all. My little tag for, there we go. I have sunglasses for my little tag as well. And my Soak Up the Sun is going to have some sunglasses as well. So here you go. These are the tags that we created today. I hope you enjoyed working on them. And we will see you next week. Bye.